Hello, friends. I'm Susan Russell, president of Our Legacy Plus. Legacy is something that is being handed down from one person to another. The legacy you leave is the residue of a life well lived. Our Legacy Plus is designed to help you on that journey for your family and to help you design a better life for yourself. So our Fireside Chat today consists of Miss Nija Howard, president of Young Men Strong, Miss Winnie Benjamin, president of Stewardship Masters International, a certified business coach with the John Maxwell team. We have a very special guest today. Her name is Miss Pauline Tuck. Miss Pauline Tuck, oh my goodness. It disappeared on me when it's gone. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
It just went where it went to go. No idea where it went.
Okay, so we will find it. Let's see if we can pipe in here. Okay. I guess I can, you want me to read her bio for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so Tuck, known commercially as Pop-Up Chef Peaches, has always loved food. Luckily for her, her mother and father were superb cooks who enjoyed sharing their secrets. She remembered as a child watching Julia Child's cooking show with her mom. Her mother lived in Panama, Jamaica, and England. Her mother's family owned a farm in Jamaica, and her grandmother prepared food and beef patties for the market to provide for the family. Her father was just a natural cook who knew how to make any meal into a delicious meal fit for a king or queen. Having a natural desire for meal preparation, of which she was considered by family and friends to be excellent, she decided to give it a try and began her food career as a trainee at the famous Mr. Leo's Southern Restaurant in Lower Manhattan, New York. Peaches says it was while working at the restaurant that gave her a little taste of the industry, which was all she needed to confirm that she truly wanted to pursue a culinary career. So after God spared her life twice after the World Trade Center terrorist attacks, she decided never to go back to the trading industry. Peaches moved on and enrolled at the Institute of Culinary Education to get a formal culinary education. She jumped straight into the deep world of catering after graduation. She began working for high-end caterers like Indiana Market and catering with David Burke and Chef Laurent at American Express, who worked exclusively for the president and CEO of American Express Restaurant Associates and Abigail Kirch. As the only Black woman in the kitchen, she felt that her desire was far more than a culinary experience. It was just the beginning of a life that required tough skin and a heart of steel. Through her journey, Peaches had the opportunity to travel extensively to various regions, learning culinary dishes, and was able to create her own delightful recipes. Today, Peaches own a premium quality catering service that includes coming to one's home and preparing a spread. Today, Peaches will share with us more about her journey as a chef, including what her family legacy has been for Thanksgiving over the years. I turn it back over to you. Miss Susan, I'm back over to you. Is that it, or?
That's it.
Okay.
All right, Peaches, we're glad you're here. We're looking forward to your input on leaving food as a legacy for Thanksgiving families, for our families. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it up to you. Okay.
Okay, very good. Pauline, you have to unmute yourself and could officially welcome you. Welcome, welcome. And
thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Yes, thank you. Yes, That's great. Loving to have you. Thank you, Susan, for the opportunity to moderate again. And I welcome my fellow co-facilitator and moderator, the awesome Nigel Howard. She is one of our biggest influences in the marketplace today, you know, with an awesome organization known as Young Men's Plus. I mean, this woman is just on the bone. That's why we love her so much. So thank you for being here. And so we are going to entertain this beautiful fireside chat with none other than pop-up chef Peaches. Better known, call her Peaches, but her official name, as it says, is Pauline Tuck. But most people will know her as Peaches and commercially pop-up chef Peaches. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Peaches, I had the opportunity of meeting Peaches back in probably about 2015, just about, where she was the head chef at Panache Eurosol restaurant, which is an upscale Manhattan style dining in Southeast Queens, you know, and just tasting this woman's food, and most importantly, her plating and her presentation on buffets. You end up eating any and everything because it's so delectable. It's and knowing her, sometimes you can go on her YouTube videos and literally see some great testimony. The one that got me the most speeches was the man who was trying to surprise his wife, you know. Tell us more about the story. Why am I telling the story when it's your story? Tell us about that one.
Well, thank you, ladies, for having me today. I'm so honored. It feels so great to be around a bunch of beautiful, inspiring, professional women. Thank you again for having me. So basically, my YouTube video, that was one of my first YouTube videos. I have a production company, which is called Society of Unique Artists. They saw my work and they said, we would like to manage your company. And I said, what can you do for me? They said, we can do a lot for you. So I jumped on board, and my first assignment was to meet a client that wanted to surprise his wife for their anniversary. So what we would do is the production company would follow me around as I went shopping. So we went shopping at the supermarket, and we went shopping at the supermarket, and we bought everything that we were going to make that day. His wife is a doctor, and she was at work, and the children were at the babysitters. So we had the whole house to ourselves. This was the first time that her husband ever really cooked in the kitchen, because his wife does all the cooking. So he says, I don't know what to do. So I said, don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything to do. So step by step, we went shopping, we bought all the ingredients and everything. We came to the house, we set up everything, and I had him chopping and dicing. And he felt so good doing this, because he says, I've never done this before. Now I know I can do it. So we put out a whole entire spread. We made jerk salmon. We made what was a mango jerk salmon. I believe we made steak. We made rice and peas. He wanted a Caribbean flair, because his wife is from Trinidad and he's from Mexico. So we did that, and we had some guacamole. We infused some Caribbean and some Latin flavors together. And he said, we have to really surprise my wife, because she's never surprised. She always knows everything. So what we did, we decorated the entire house. We put the whole spread out on the dining room table. She picked up the kids as usual from school. They came into the house, and bam, surprise. His wife was like, oh my God. She didn't know what to do, where to go. She was just screaming. The kids were like, who is this? Oh, Daddy, did you prepare all of this? And he's like, yes. And he said, happy anniversary, honey.
Oh.
It was the most beautifulest experience I've ever had before, because the love and the passion that he put into, doing something special, something different for his wife, it just warmed my heart. And knowing that the kids were there and they saw the spread, and they was like, well, who is this? And what is this? And oh, Daddy, I can't wait to eat. That experience right there, That's what
That
makes
was,
pop-up chef Peaches.
oh yes, I could tell you from my experience with her, her heart is 100% into this. Now, Peaches, we're gonna take you back a little bit, right? Uh, I remembered having a conversation with you where you did not necessarily start it off in the cooking field. You were in Wall Street on trading floor. Briefly, because I know your time is limited here, briefly tell us what actually happened that caused you to hook up with a friend and almost shut down the trading floor. You didn't say that, but that's what I saw that happen. Tell us that little story right there.
Okay, well, I was working for Rudders, and that was located at the One World Trade Center in
Ooh.
Manhattan.
Ooh.
And that, yeah, around that time, that particular day was 9/11.
Oh,
So
no.
it was, yeah, it was 9/11. And that day we were all sitting at our desk, and all of a sudden we heard a big boom. And so, we were like, what the heck is that? What's going on? So what happened was my boss, name is Peter, big dude, big Italian guy. What the hell is that? I was like, we don't know. So security was like, security came running into the building onto our floor. We were on the 13th floor, and they told us, everyone calm down. Everything is okay. Everyone go back to their seat. And we were like, go back to your seat. So, we listened to them. We didn't think anything. And then there was a second hit. And so my boss ran to the window. He's like, what the hell is going on? He said, there's a effing plane right there stuck in the building. And I'm like, oh my God. So what we did was we started to run. Everyone started to panic. People were screaming. People were hollering. The fire alarm was going off. The sprinkler systems came on, and there was no lights. Security kept saying, go back to your office. And we did not listen. At this point, some of the security was saying, go back. Some of the security was saying, continue on. What we had to do was go down the stairs. It was the worst time in the world. Upon going down the stairs, we saw dead. We saw people that have, they were dead. They were dead in the hallways. There was water all over the place. People were injured, and it was dark. We didn't have a flashlight, and I don't even think cell phones had a light back then. And we had to hold each other's hand as we walked all the way down the steps, all the way down the steps, all the way down the steps. The things that we saw was horrible. It was unspeakable. People were injured. There was blood everywhere. There was water everywhere, and we could not see. We guided each other all the way down to the first floor. It took us hours to get out of that building. It seemed like hours. I don't know how long it was. Then when we got to the front entrance, there was nothing but smoke, and it was fire, and we couldn't breathe. And we saw people laying out in the street, people screaming. There was blood everywhere. It was the worst experience in my life. And when we finally got out the building, some of us kept running. Some of us was just walking in a daze. We didn't know where to go. The fire department was there. The police department was there. They were running around. They didn't know what to do. It was like in shambles. The last thing I remember was one of my girlfriends. She was expecting a baby, and she was laying on the ground, and she was calling me, Peaches, Peaches, help me. And she said she couldn't find her husband, and she was pregnant. We got her up off the floor, and we just kept going. We kept going. I don't even remember how I got home that day. There was no cabs or anything. Half of us, we walked over the bridge. We walked over the bridge.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got over the bridge and you got home, right? Was that the defining moment when you decide, that's it, I'm not back, and I'm going into, because your bio says that after that 9/11, you had an opportunity to work with Leo, right? Was that when you said no more of cooking, of that, and getting into cooking? Or should I take you back a little bit? Before you get there, let me take you back a little bit. Your bio says that your mom and dad were excellent cooks. Excellent cooks.
Yes, my mom my mom's mother, my grandmother, that's what she used to do for a living in Panama. And then she went to Jamaica, and that's where she resided. And she used to make patties, and she used to make food, and she was very creative. Um, they used to sell at the market, at New Market, and they used to sell. And my other side of the family, they had the farms. So the meat was accessible to them to, for her to cook the food. So it was like a family thing, a big family thing. And my mother learned, she stayed there until she was about 18 or 19. And then she came to America, and she worked for Tammy Grimes and Christopher Plummer. They are actresses and actors, very famous. And she worked for them, and she cooked for them and took care of them. And she learned different cuisines from them too. Now, my father, on the other hand, he's American, and he's from the South. So he learned how to cook from the South, and he also learned how to cook in the service. So basically that combination of food, American, Caribbean, Latin, that's what I grew up on.
Wow. Tell us what the family tradition has been for you coming up, okay, at home because I remembered you telling me one of the things that really sort of pulled you towards cooking is that you would prepare meals when family gatherings.
Yes,
experience. What were family and friends saying about your cuisine while they were pulling you to this industry?
Okay, well, my mom had me cooking at an early age, at around 14 or 15, my first tryout. She says, I want you to start cooking dinner. And I'm like, oh God. So my first tryout was to cook some smothered pork chops. And I said, I'm going to cook it in a Caribbean style. So I cooked it in a Caribbean style, and I was very nervous because my mother is a very hard person to please. And so I made a nice spread, and I was watching the family as they eat. When you're cooking something and you make a nice spread for the family, you're looking at everybody like, oh my God, I hope they like it. And they loved the food. They were licking their fingers and everything. And it made me feel good inside. And so when I went to college, and in college you're poor, you don't really have that much money, you're barely making it, you're on the dorm. So I decided to start cooking, and my roommate was like, oh, the food is delicious. So I said, you know what, maybe we can sell some dinners, and we can get some money so we can eat. So she's like, okay. So we started selling dinners, and we got so popular, we started having parties. So our room was like the party room. I got a DJ. I knew a guy that didn't know how to DJ, and I cooked, and we had liquor, and we had a good time. We started making a lot of money, guys. So after college.
So that was the experience that you had. I'm going to pause for a minute because I know Nyjah comes from a family of some serious cooks, and then I'm going to go to our founder and president, Susan Russell, who I know got some Southerns in her somewhere. I don't know more than another, but Nyjah, what was your experience like?
Oh man, well first I want to tell Chef Peaches, thank you so much for sharing that beautiful story. I feel like there's a lot of synergy between her story and my story, because those that don't know, I was actually a chef in my first career.
Look at that.
And I too worked at the World Trade Center, but I was at Windows on the World on the 107th floor. So we have a lot of synergy. So I understand what that looks like in cooking. And it was 9/11 too that transitioned my mindset to move towards the human service professional and really working with people and helping to disseminate and dismantle those naysayers of our cultures and bringing us together and incorporating diversity. So thank you for sharing your story. When I think about food on Thanksgiving, it's true. My family is very, very close knit. My grandmother, my mother, my father, all of us are cooks in the family. And so when I think about Thanksgiving, I think about laughter. I think about the warmth. I think about the peace in the home, that just collaborating, making the foods together, the smell. I remember growing up, the smell, you could always tell when it's the holidays because the house always smelled holiday-ish. It smelled like the pies in the oven, the apple pie or the sweet potato pie or the candy yams and the nice brown turkey. And we will all kind of do our own thing. Like I would be in charge of certain meals, and then on that day in particular, we all came together with it, kind of like a potluck. And we brought the whole meal together. So it was, so when I think about Thanksgiving, I'm thinking about just the family togetherness, and then the games that we would play afterwards. It's just something to look forward to, because throughout the year, we're all hustling and bustling on the life of the treadmill life, but when the holidays comes around, it's like, stop, this is us. Rebonding again, reintegrating into our own selves again, laughing together, sharing stories, good and bad, and how we've overcome throughout the year. And so yeah, just the ambiance of food. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, Chef Peaches, is that when with everyone now turning into vegans and vegetarians and pescatarians and all these other aliens of just food consciousness, how are we bringing, how are we keeping the same tradition into our families while still honoring the healthy aspects that people are now incorporating into their space?
So interesting you would ask me that question, because due to the pandemic, I had contracted the virus twice. And it was kind of serious. And I said to myself, I was always on the chunky side. And there was a lot of rumors about the meat and the animals and this, that, and the other. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to change my diet. So now I am a vegan. And it's been a challenge, but it's a challenge, but it's not a challenge, because you would be surprised at the different things that you can create with vegetables and grain and beans and tortillas, corn tortillas, just eating healthy. We're so used to not eating healthy that we think that eating healthy is horrible, and it's not. You just have to know how to infuse the flavors and the spices and how you cook it. So right now, I don't cook with oil. This is for my special diet. I don't use oil when I cook. I don't use any dairy products. It's basically all vegetable or all fruit and all grain. That's it. And it's a wonderful experience. And there's so many things that you can do with vegetables that you would be surprised, and it tastes good.
Yes. Because I'm a vegan, I'm vegetarian vegan, so I can understand and live by that. Oh, I'm excited to know that.
And not only that, it makes me feel good that I can accommodate people who don't eat meat. Now I love meat, but I don't eat it anymore. And I know I can make it, and I make it good. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's the new, a lot of people have become vegan now. So things are changing.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
You have another question from that, or would we coming back around this round table, right, Susan?
Yeah.
Any comments, questions?
I want to know, what does a vegetarian Thanksgiving dinner look like?
Interesting. Okay, let's see. What would I do for a vegetarian Thanksgiving dinner? Well, basically, I've been experimenting with a lot of different kind of Stilton and Beyond. I don't know about too much about the Beyond Meat, because I'm still investigating what that's all about. You know what I'm saying? So let me just leave that alone. But I could make a vegetarian lasagna is delicious. Also make the beans. I can make beans and rice, brown rice. I can make buckwheat. That's delicious. I make a lot of different salads, beet salad, cucumber salad, guacamole. I can make chips. I can make burritos, vegetarian burritos, vegetarian tacos, vegetarian stews and soups. There's a lot of East Indian and West Indian dishes that you use curry with the chickpeas and the onions and have that over brown rice with some kale. It's delicious. You can use ackee, and we can make an ackee patty. I make ackee patties. Oh my God, they're to die for. Make kale and spinach infused patties. Those are delicious. Those are little appetizers. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can cut up the mushrooms. The mushroom is the portobello mushrooms is used a lot in a substitute for the meat.
Yes.
You chop up those portobello mushrooms and some onions and some garlic and some spices, and you can roll it in a cabbage and deep fry it, whatever you want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? They have vegan cheese. They have vegan cheese. You can make a macaroni, and you could still make your macaroni pie or your macaroni.
Because that's what I was about to ask. You know, the traditional Thanksgiving meals that family all get from generations. We go over to grandma, who's the oldest one alive, and grandma's going to hold on to the pork and the turkey and
you can make all
whatever
of that.
That's usually on that family thing that everybody waits for once a year to find out. But you hit it right on the head. Tradition, family, what makes up a tradition? Is it actually the meals itself, not moving from, the meals that they constitute that's no longer healthy for us, that we now have to shift? And because we have to shift, does that mean that family Thanksgiving ends, tradition ends, or the tradition could be on the fellowship more than the food? What would you guys say about that? What would you say, Chef Peaches? And then I'll ask Niger and Susan.
I believe it's a
combination. I understand what Niger said about the smells. Smells is what kind of pulls the traditions all together. And I can't imagine a vegetable smelling like a turkey roasted in the or sweet potatoes or candied yams. I just can't imagine that.
I gotta come to your house next day. I gotta come to your house and make this happen.
You can have so many things. Baking, still goes on, and in that manner. I know basically Niger having an opportunity to be in the cooking field for the World Trade Center cooking. I'm sure she has a few little things up her sleeve that she does maybe at Thanksgiving. And I think it's all about learning the science of cooking and the essence of cooking. That's the difference between a chef and just a general cook. You guys use science of flavoring and what flavors will go with something to create your new dishes, right? All right, now let me ask you something. What do you often, now it's Thanksgiving coming up, and Susan just asked the most powerful question, and more people are trying to go vegetarian for Thanksgiving. And I'm knowing that's been happening, two things. The members in the family that are vegetarian are no longer going out to the family, which is painful, right? Because you look once a year to get all the family members together. But now this division in diet has created that fracture. What would you say to a person who is a vegetarian and should continue the family legacy of meeting and Thanksgiving? What can they do? Should they, number one, if I were there, I would probably call you up and say, come on, hook me up. I'll pay you for that. So I'll take my dishes over, because sometimes that's what the host would say, bring your dish.
Yes.
If you're vegetarian, bring the stuff you want to eat. And then this way people can share. But tell me more about that. What do you think can happen to keep the family together? What would you propose or suggest? You heard? Am I on mute? Maybe, no. Can you hear me?
Is that for me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking to
Oh,
you.
I'm
Did
so
you?
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, well, most of the time, family tradition, you'll have the Thanksgiving at a, designated family member's house. And most of the
Mhm.
time, if it's going to be a large gathering, everyone writes a list on who can make what the best. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because the host is not going to make everything. So, you go down the line and most people will say, well, I'm on a special diet now. And we're like, you know what? You just bring what you normally would, that's something that you would like to bring,
Yes.
something that you
Yeah.
like to eat, you and your guests, whatever it is, you bring it
Mhm.
and you introduce it to the family. And more
Mhm.
than likely, they're like, oh, this is so delicious. What is this again? It's like, oh, this
Mhm.
is fried cauliflower in a barbecue sauce. And I was like, oh my God, I thought it was like little chicken nuggets. And it's like, no. Or you'll have cauliflower rice. I didn't know this was cauliflower rice. Yes. Isn't it delicious? They're like, oh my
That's
God,
a
I can't believe it. So, you introducing these dishes into the family at Thanksgiving time is a beautiful thing because we're sharing. We're
yes.
sharing a
Yes.
part of ourselves. We're sharing something
Oh.
that's new, to that individual. And now that individual is sharing it amongst the family. And you never know. Then this is delicious. Most of the time it is, and you can't believe that it's a vegetable or fruits or, basically whatever you bring to the table. And that's the thing about Thanksgiving, being thankful and grateful and coming together and sharing.
That I think is powerful. I know Nigel can jump in on this big time because what I am seeing beyond just the food, you just hit something right on the head. Tradition does not need to be, what's the word that religious, so to speak, that this is a tradition that we're going to continue to eat pork and a lot of oil and everything, destroying your family legacy. If the legacy is for the doctor to say, oh, this is part of your tradition. Your mom had high blood pressure and diabetes. Well, you will, because in his or her mind, you are continuing with the high oil and the macaroni and cheese. Well, what I'm hearing you to say, it does not have to be like this, because
Exactly.
every generation could be the grandchildren who have known better and learning better, bringing type of meal that can slowly be introduced for them to try it and taste it. Imagine Susan saying she can't imagine any, Thanksgiving not smelling like, right? But it could be a slow transition with a different smell. What do you think, Nisha?
No, I think that's a very interesting way to incorporate it. I will say though, I for all those people out there who are still saying, hey, I like my porgy and my piggies, and we got to still make room for them, right? We still got to make room for those people and really help them to understand that, we're not knocking it, and it's okay. Eat till you're merry, right? Eat till your heart's content. I mean, everybody knows that Thanksgiving dinner is really where we all come together to really, I think we don't want to miss the value. Of course, the food plays a significant role in it, but I think the meaning behind it, and Chef Peaches really hit on it too, is that the real meaning is family and coming together. And I think just the food brings the warmth in it, right? But let's not forget about family, especially in the time since we've already experienced COVID and the pandemic, and we've already been separated so much because of that. This year, let's try to incorporate, maybe a smaller setting of family members, but at least come together as best they can. Since everyone is now not going into the brick and mortar and everything is becoming more click and order, we really should begin to, set up the computers, set up your Zoom settings so you can share space with family members who are in different countries or different states or different boroughs. And if you don't want to, if you don't want to be together, at least you can share the space, just being together the way that we are sharing this beautiful setting on Our Legacy Plus right now today. Family can come together. Let's look at Thanksgiving this year as really coming together, regardless of what your layout looks like. Just come together, share stories, and share gratitude for being alive. Just being alive right now.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know we're coming up on the hour, but before it gets out, I would like Chef Peaches to let our audience know, where can they contact you, especially if we want to place an order for Thanksgiving or have you be the pop-up chef for some families who are gathering right now, especially if for those who are vegetarians and don't know what to do, I hit you up a little bit. But, I know you can cook all types of cuisines because you have traveled everywhere and it's amazing. I don't know what cuisine you cannot cook. I know that. I'll testify. But please tell our audience, and I'm hoping our audience, we're asking you to please like, love, click, share.
Click and share.
Okay, click and share. So tell us how we can.
Okay, basically you can contact me via social media. I have my own social media, Pop-Up Chef Peaches Catering. You can Google me. I'm on Yelp. You can reach out to Yelp, or you can reach out to me on Google. You can also reach my management company, which is Society of Unique Artists. And the contact there is Ronnie Simon. His number is there. And you can also call me. And my number is 917-627-7157.
Can you repeat that again? The last number, 917?
917-627-7157.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
I know Susan has something to say as we come down to our last words. I know she still had one more. I feel it, the vibration. She got one more comment or question in. All right, feel it.
Well, my question has to do with the availability to do Thanksgiving. I mean, you might have a lot of people who call you up and say, yeah, would you do Thanksgiving for me? You're only one person. How does that work?
Oh, I have a staff. I do have a staff. I have a catering staff. I have servers. I have other chefs that work with me. I have a kitchen. I have, because I'm an off-site caterer. So I have kitchens. I have like three or four different kitchens that we cook out of. And I have an ample enough staff to cover.
That's for sure. This is no small chef. This is a premium chef we're talking about up in here. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful.
So no job is too small or too big.
Oh, good. So you do surprises and anniversaries and
surprises.
Holidays and
do big events too. I work with a lot of celebrities too. We did the Men of Excellence. As a matter of fact, our new mayor, he got an award from my company. It's called the Men of Excellence Awards. You can look
at that. I saw that. That had something to do with you?
Yes, you know. Oh, you can. Yeah.
I saw it on Facebook. I think it's on one of the social media pages.
Yes, I did the food.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Yes. Me and my partner, her name is Linda Ford, Coco China. We did the Men of Excellence Awards. Yes. And this was our second time doing it. We're going to do a third. We're going to do a third Men of Excellence.
I see you and Nija hooking up because Young Men Strong, she only has Men of Excellence rolling. So I can already see the collaboration going on. Ooh, and my creative self, both of you know how to cook. I could almost see that. I mean, I could see a whole storyline.
Right.
Both of you.
Yeah. I can see I would need a diet coming up soon.
Okay, we can do that too.
All right. Is there any last word you would like to share with us and something we may not have asked you that you want to say, Chef Peaches? Or
well, I wanna thank all of you for having me here. It was a pleasure, just reminiscing. The holidays are coming up and we've all been through so much with the pandemic and people, we have lost loved ones and stuff, but thank God that God has spared our life and we are going to be coming together with our families and friends and celebrating such a wonderful holiday is Thanksgiving. Everyone thinks of Thanksgiving differently, but I think it is a time to come together with friends and family. And like we said, the aromas and the experience, that we're going to be having with our friends and family at our homes or at someone else's home is going to be very delightful. And my new thing is, with all this going on, is, enjoy what you're doing. Put your love and your heart in it. Like we're talking now, and all of us women are coming together, and we're, talking about Thanksgiving and what it means to us. Continue to do that with your journey in your life and whatever careers or businesses that you have. And I believe we're going to make it. We're here for a purpose and a reason.
Yes.
And it's not just to keep that to ourselves, but to spread it.
Just to share it.
Absolutely. Oh, that's exciting.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, Susan, we're back over to you. You can close us out, I guess. at this-
Okay, well, I had a good time. I don't know about you, but I had a good time. And I look forward to talking to you again, Peaches. Okay, we'll talk again soon, and we'll get together soon, and hopefully this pandemic thing will keep us from each other, but we'll always get together on Zoom if needed. Okay, I look forward to that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
You
thank you so much,
again. You have a
Peaches.
great
Thank you,
Thanksgiving.
guys. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
And we
Thank you,
want to
Chef.
thank
Thank
my
you.
co-moderator, Nigel, too. So we all thank each other. It's early Thanksgiving.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
sir.
Thank you so
Have
much.
a good
And we're saying bye-bye to
Thanksgiving.
our audience.